What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. More synchro replays for you synchro enthusiasts out there. This time we are rocking with one of my favorite Arc V archetypes, and that is Crystrons. I kind of like the way that Konami has switched things up when it comes to like synchro archetypes. If you guys remember, a lot of the ones during the 5Ds era were kind of like hyper synchro decks, but I like the way that a lot of the newer synchro archetypes actually do their big plays and they make big pushes during their opponent's turn. I think it makes them feel pretty unique. If you look at Crystrons, or if you look at like Frames, they make a bulk of their synchros actually during their opponent's turn. Actually, Crystrons get to draw cards if they have their field spell, or if they have Starlight Junction, it can be a complete blowout. Now, one thing that I actually feel a little silly about, I just realized that Crystrons can actually implement frogs into their deck. Not only is like the entire archetype water, so basically you can pitch any Crystron monster to summon or their special summon swap frog, but you know, Crystron Citrus is actually a level 2, so you can make some totally awesome plays. Now, this version is running Ties of the Brethren, which actually makes a whole lot of sense. I'm gonna go ahead and run this, and the reason that it makes sense is because when you get your field loaded up, you're not really going to special summon that much. As I just said, Crystrons really special summon a bulk of their synchro monsters during their opponent's turn. So, you know, Ties of the Brethren just kind of becomes like a +1, and it gets your field really loaded up. And one of the cool things is this monster right here, Steam Synchron, which honestly, they might as well just call it Crystron Synchron, because it basically is a fucking Crystron. It has the same type, it has the same attributes, and it kind of has the same effect as the rest of these guys. It's a tuner, so it basically will let you go into your Phoenixin and your Trishula and all your big plays during your opponent's turn. And I believe he activated Scrap Recycler, which is kind of like a baby Foolish Burial for this archetype. So let's see what he's going to do. You're never really going to see Crystrons do that much like flashy plays during their first turn. It's very similar to Dark Magician. All your plays are going to come during your opponent's turn. Now, he's playing against Fluffles or Frightfur, whichever one you want to call it. And honestly, guys, like, let's just pause. You cannot ask for more if you're playing Frightfur. At this point, this guy has, what, 3, 6, 9 cards in his possession, and he's already resolved a Toy Vendor. What more could you ask for? I believe he has, what's this trap right here? I can't even freaking click it. Is that Frightfur March? Okay, that's what I thought. It's Frightfur March. Maybe you'd probably not want that in your opening hand because it is a trap, but I think he actually made a big mistake here, right? So he special summons the Owl. He gets a free copy of Polymerization off of its effect, and he fusion summons for Frightfur Sheep, which I don't necessarily agree with, because if your opponent has a back row and you don't know what it is, shouldn't you probably want to bait that back row out? Like, even if you have to throw a Tiger at the back row just to get rid of like a Solemn Strike, or maybe even if it's like a lost win, I think you should probably try and get rid of that thing immediately, because if it's like a Mirror Force, you know, you just don't want to wait. Like, I'm one of those players who likes peace of mind, so I would gladly throw a Frightfur Tiger, especially considering he had multiple polymerizations. So you see he goes for Sabertooth, which obviously is going to bring back the Sheep. So, I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's making a really big board. He makes a second Sabertooth, and he's finally going to bring out Tiger, and he's going to target a bunch of cards. You see how many cards he I think he targeted like 4. I think he used like 4 materials for that fucking thing. He might have even used more. I think he banished like every single one of his Fluffles or Edge Imp. I think he banished like his entire graveyard. But you see he's going to activate Impact, which is going to summon the Smogger back. And then he summons Glyangander, which honestly, guys, I will not even lie, I have no fucking idea how to pronounce this damn thing in the TCG. But I love this card. When your opponent overcommits and they don't have a way of stopping this card is almost as good as Trishula. You see that he basically axed everything that he had. I mean, he had a field of probably about 17,000 damage, and now since he lost all of those Frightfurs, his Sabertooth becomes very weak. It becomes just that plain old 2800. Now, it is protected from battle, but he can't really do much. He can't even attack over the Glyangander, so that sucks for him. Now, at this point, he's going to summon some more, and I believe he's going to set up for another 9 play. And there's one reason that I definitely wanted to upload this, is because something happened that I had never seen before. So he's going to go for Phoenixin. He's going to banish everything. He does attack, but it's obviously there's no point because Sabertooth cannot be destroyed by battle. And this shows kind of the control game that Crystrons can have if they get their right plays. He goes for Scrap Recycler. He's going to banish to add. He activates another copy of Impact so that he can special summon. And boom, we've got the Trishula. Now, the coolest thing is I've never seen I've never seen a field of 3 level 9 synchros that are all water. Level 9 is not known as a very strong number for synchros. It was kind of like the bastard number. Level 8 was always like the great. It was the Stardust Dragon. You pretty much had Trishula and that's it. But I do kind of like that Crystrons are definitely rocking some very powerful level 9s. And I mean, how often do you see 3 level 9 synchros on the field at the same time, especially with them all being water? So I thought it was a pretty good play. I hope you guys enjoyed, especially because, again, I'm trying to really promote synchros this week. I think people are enjoying it. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.